Hey, this is Paul from Rose's Pawn Shop here in Atlanta.
Great. So how are you enjoying Atlanta thus far?
I'm enjoying it. We have a very nice hotel room that I've spent a good part of my time in Atlanta today in. But I think this is our fourth time in Atlanta, and it's always a lot of fun to come here and play, and we always have good crowds, and people treat us real well, so love being back here.
Now for people who aren't familiar with you guys, can you give a little bit of background information on the band?
Sure. We formed in 2005 and kind of formed as a kind of bluegrass meets rock meets country meets punk meets the kitchen sink type of band, mixing a lot of styles, kind of using traditional American instruments like banjo and fiddle and upright bass and that kind of thing. So formed in 2005, put out our first record, The Arsonist, in 2006, and then we started touring on that, and we've been touring ever since, pretty heavily each year across the states, and we just now released our second record, Dancing on the Gallows, which is coming out officially in September, but it is available online right now.
Cool. And that's kind of unusual for a bluegrass band to come from LA.
It is.
You guys probably get that a lot, right?
Yes, people are often surprised. I mean, we're by no stretch of the imagination are we traditional bluegrass, and any bluegrass, hardcore bluegrass fanatic would tell you that. We've had a few people that we've been billed as a bluegrass band before and had hardcore bluegrass fans walk out because it's not their cup of tea. But it is bluegrass, but it is also very much rock, and so kind of putting those styles together. And so I guess in LA maybe that's not as strange. There's a lot of fusions of ideas happening in Los Angeles. So.
Right. If you had to describe your sound in 3 words, what words would they be?
Energy, fun, whiskey.
Nice, nice. Now, you were talking about your previous albums. How would you describe the sound of your band, the evolution of that sound across, since you guys started?
From the first record to now?
Right.
There's definitely been evolution. There's definitely been some lineup changes that have happened. Really, on the first record, of all the people who played on that first record, I am the lone standing member.
Oh, wow.
But John, our guitar banjo player, joined us right on that very first tour, so he's kind of like, him and I are the old kind of standbys in the band. But obviously when you change members, the sound changes a bit, but it still has that high energy, up-tempo, fun, bluegrass, danceable kind of thing happening. But I think with this new record we did evolve a bit. I mean, I think the song content is definitely branched out a bit. It's not all about lost love and drinking like the first record was. That's also in this new record too, but there's a little bit more content and depth going on there with the songs. And really this new record has kind of been about the last 4 years we've spent on the road and the experiences we've had and people we've met. And we also tried some new instrumentation on this record. We put a little bit of accordion into the mix, some trumpets, like more pedal steel, just trying new instruments and new sounds and stuff like that. So there's definitely been an evolution from the first record till now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, out of all of your songs, which one would you say is the most personal to you?
Well, that's rough. I mean, I write them all, so they're all pretty personal. But Pine Box on this new record always is hitting home now because that song really is about being on the road and traveling and people you meet and the experiences you have, and it's fun but it's also hard at the same time, and you're missing people back home, and that song is kind of about that. So right now that would probably be the song that's hitting home the most. But I mean all of the songs mean a lot to me, and at any given moment I can relate to one more than the other.
Cool. Do you guys do any covers?
We do. Sometimes we get hired to play all night long. We'll do like 3 hours of music or more. So we'll put out some covers, but we never try to. It's very rare that we'll do a cover exactly how the original artist did it. We always put our own twists, and we pick some obscure songs, that unexpected things. One of the songs we cover is Aisha by Another Bad Creation, which is a bit obscure, but that was the boy band that was produced by Belle Biv DeVoe in like early 90s, and was kind of like a teeny bopper hit, but we take it and make it much darker and creepier
Nice.
than originally intended. So that's like one cover we did, but we cover the Misfits, but we'll also cover Hank Williams and Johnny Cash. So
Cool.
when we do covers, we like to pull from, you know, a little bit left field sources, I'd say.
Cool.
Yeah.
What would you say the most memorable moment from this tour has been?
Can I remember this tour? I don't know how much I remember. Well, what came to mind first was we played Floyd Fest in Southern Virginia, which is a really cool festival. Lee Von Helm and Old Crow Medicine Show were headlining the festival, and it was, 16,000, 17,000 people out in this beautiful countryside of Southern Virginia. And so, just playing on stage that night, on Saturday night, we were the last band on one of the stages, and people were just having a great time and dancing really into it. I mean, that was definitely a highlight.
Cool. What do you guys have coming up? Because this is like your last date, right? Or close to it?
We have about a week and a few days left. We got about 7 days left. So this is definitely the home stretch right now.
What do you guys have coming up after this tour?
After this tour, we have a few shorter Southwest states in October, and then we're going to do, by the end of the year, we're going to do a Northwest tour to Oregon and Seattle, which we also did earlier this year and had a great time. And then we're working right now on Europe and getting the record out in Europe, and hopefully early next year or middle of next year getting out that way, which will be our first time out there. We're really looking forward to it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
What do you guys do when you have some downtime on tour?
There's not a lot of downtime. We're pretty. I guess it's my fault since I'm kind of a slave driver, but we play just about every night, and so it's a lot of waking up and getting in the van and heading to the next town. But we took a day off. We went to Washington D.C. one day, and we did the Smithsonian and the monuments on our one day off this tour, which was cool. Tim, our fiddle player, he plays a lot of Grand Theft Auto on PlayStation in the van.
Nice.
I do a lot of staring out the window, listening to my iPod.
Car games? Not so much.
Just Grand Theft Auto, really.
Nice.
It's about as close as we get to a car game.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what would be the favorite TV shows of you guys? Do you have any ones that you have to watch while you're on tour? Or?
Well, we watched Entourage yesterday when we were driving down here. But that was the first time we watched it, but I love that show. Our drummer Christian is addicted to 30 Rock, and he's always watching that, and I love that show too. So I guess those are two that come to mind.
Alright. Well, cool. That's all of my questions for you.
Alright, well thanks so much for coming out and
No
talking
problem.
with me.
Thank you.